Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico. Today, we're here to We're here to end off another wonderful week's worth of content. Well, yes. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me at Patreon at patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, 200 plus to be exact, and to be a part of our live streams where we have multifaceted conversations with a varied panel depending on the week. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in. And last video's comment. It's about the XG Chase situation where he came online to talk about his dating preferences, where he said he wants to want you more than you want him. He loves the chase. He wants, someone that isn't easily accessible and or actually wants him. So somebody commented saying chasing after somebody that clearly doesn't want you is a sign of low self-esteem. And I agree on that. It was a very nuanced conversation in the comments, basically saying some may feel that he feels that way because he is an adult performer and he usually has people coming after him. So if someone doesn't want him, he will know that if he gets them, it's more than just the physical. And I understand that perspective, but at the same time, I do agree that a lot of men aren't always on that time because, like I said in that video, XG Chase, his opinion on this isn't unheard of. A lot of men want to chase after someone that doesn't want them. So it's usually like an ego thing. So it can be seen multiple ways. So I'm gonna give y'all that. But now that we got out of the way, onto the actual topic. Today we're gonna be talking about when being hot is all you got. Nico, what do you mean? So this video is another video about Ugo Damante. And if you don't know who that is, I did 2 videos on him, I believe. One video was where he basically came out with Dion Denzel, who was a popular YouTuber. I believe he still does that and has like an overpriced fashion brand. Nico, it was overpriced in new tones. It wasn't like, oh my God, mind-breaking. To me personally, I'm not a fashion girl. But basically they sat in Dion's car and they were talking about how they had some form of interaction. And then later on they went to say, oh, we're just friends, because they were basically getting clowned because while in the car, Ugo basically said, well, clearly I don't date for looks, and gagged Dion in that video, if I'm remembering that video correctly. So I genuinely believe they did date at one point, and then when they were getting dragged to camera, I said, no, it's just my friend, because it mimics the behavior that we see currently with Ugo. And that's because he also did a video outing his ex Khaled. Nico, who is Khaled? If you don't know, location, love lies, and currently out of body. Nico, what is out of body? He just released a new song and that ignited some anger in Ugo. So the song is called Out of Body. Out of Body is a more sensual, dance, touching kind of track. Something Khaled has never done. He's always done more mainstream love, longing songs. So he's coming out and say, yes, I am LGBT, but that don't mean I can't be sexy. And I will admit, I was pleasantly surprised. The song is hot. The beat is hot, and I won't deny it. But after he dropped that, Ugo came out and basically was hating, saying he has no sex appeal. And I want to reference that he always does this with his dark-skinned exes, seeing as how he had also dropped a sub tweet towards Lil Nas X where he says, your favorite gay rapper ate my cookies out the jar. He ain't even all that. So when the entire situation with Lil Nas X, when he was basically getting locked up for having a mental episode in the middle of the street in his underwear, Ugo sent out a subtweet saying, don't do drugs, kids, and he's gotten dragged. So every time he's trying to be negative and nasty towards his exes because they have a thriving career and he doesn't, he gets dragged, which he deserves. But one thing I will not say, even though I did like Out of My Body, and I did think Khaled actually had sex appeal in that, because honestly, I'm one of those people, I'm attracted to people that can be themselves and have fun. Like I said in the previous video surrounding these two in particular, I view Khaled as someone who is a cutie patootie. He's very cute, but I was very real about that. A lot of people were gassing him up when the whole Ugo thing happened and he originally called him unattractive or something like that. And they were like, oh, Khalid's this, Khalid's that. Beforehand, nobody ever wanted to hunch Khalid. And I'm being real. If you can find tweets of saying, ooh, I need me some Khalid bad, I will change my opinion. But I was very real about that. I'm not going to rewrite history. But I will say, seeing him like dance, seeing him enjoy himself, seeing him feeling sensual, feeling his puss, I saw the vision. I did. I was actually, I'm very attracted to Khalid in that video. I was like, oh my God. As for the song itself, it's very like neutral when it comes to sexuality tone. Like if you don't watch the video, you won't know it's about LGBT matters. You would think it's just a regular thirsty kind of like, I need you, come touch on my body club song. Point is, Ugo continues to send out messages attacking his exes because he has said in previous videos and rants where he was upset that he has been passed around Hollywood and it did nothing for his career. Because if you look at the streaming numbers, different league entirely. So you can tell why he's mad since he's been through Lil Nas X. He's been through Dion Denzel, allegedly. He's been through Khalid, and nobody wanted to put him on because the music is really bad. The music is really, really bad. But he's sexy. So he's trying to use that as a leverage to attack people. But all I'm gonna say is, girl, being sexy ain't get you far. You have a nickname in New York City, which he is now back in. Nico, he moved from LA to New York City when that money ran dry because I've seen him in person. Nico, what do you mean? He goes out, but he wears like a hoodie to pretend like people won't recognize who he is. He walked right past me. I'm like, girl, you ain't no celebrity. And that's what I don't know. He's not a celebrity to me just because he's only known for being pretty. And there are a lot of people who are known for being pretty, but girl, you don't gotta go into witness protection. Point is, I got distracted gagging at him being back in New York City. His nickname is Community Bike. So, you know. He has a negative attitude. He has a nasty spirit. And you can tell that he tried to social climb his way through people's beds in LA. And now that it didn't work out, he has anger and resentment towards everybody he slept with that didn't help his career move further. But at the end of the day, that's not their fault. That's not their fault. And once again, I'm not going to come online and be one of those girls that was being obtuse. Ugo is fine as hell. I've seen him in person. Man, fine as hell. I'm not going to be one of those people that come online and be like, he ain't even that attractive. His spirit make him ugly. He's still fine. Like, I was going through his page and he still goes viral for being sexy. It's just, that's all he has to offer the mainstream populace. Because we've all seen a muscular butch queen think that because they're muscular and people thirst over their pictures that they were going to easily become a pop icon, and it's not in the books for you. It's not. And honestly, I would rather be Khalid. I may not have traditional sex appeal, but bitch, I got a voice. I have talent. I am selling. Ugo doesn't have that, and it burns him. And I understand. If you view yourself as the prize, if you view all the people that you've begrudgingly slept with, because once again, Ugo has had boyfriends that he has publicly claimed. They are all light-skinned and or racially ambiguous. I don't even think black, if I'm being honest, now that I've looked at a few of them. But all of his black exes, he downs them. He degrades them. Oh, clearly I don't date for looks. Oh, y'all better stay off that because he ate my... It wasn't even that good. And oh, he ain't got no sex appeal. And he just spreading rumors that I'm a thief. And I'm just sitting here like... What are you offering the public instead of drama? Because clearly you want to be a musical artist. And it's just... Because I heard half of it, because I had to sit through half of it. Half of a track, after the whole Khalid drama happened, he tried to drop a track referencing that, even though he's the one that brought it out into public. He had already gotten dragged over it. And people were saying, hang it up. Flat screen. Ooh, my light went out. Basically, hang it up. No one's checking for that. So... technical difficulties, I gotta charge it. Point is, I'm gonna wrap this up, seeing as how I feel like that's the signs are like dun, 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 dun. Okay, point is, I feel like it's not gonna do any good. We all know it's not gonna do any good. It's not gonna help the career that you don't have. So coming online to be bitter about the success and or the downfalls of the people that you slept with trying to get further in the industry, it's not gonna do anything for you, especially because it landed you right back here in New York City. It's just no purpose. And I'm seeing that he's trying to use the negativity, because I'm assuming he has the thought process of all press is good press, to further what career he doesn't have, but it's not working. And honestly, I would have told you just stick to modeling. Stick to modeling. That's not saying stick to OnlyFans. I'm not one of them bitches. Stick to modeling. You're attractive. Clearly, you know how to have sex appeal. You know what you're doing because he goes viral for it. It's just lean into your strengths. If you're not intelligent, Nico, that's no shade. That's not calling him slow. But when he talks, I don't see nobody. The lights are not home. If that makes sense. The way he talks, the draw, the energy he has for people that are succeeding rather than him, because he believes since he's light skinned and sexy, he should be in the forefront. You stick with what you know. Stick with what you know. But at this point, you're burning A-listers. You're trash talking A-listers in Hollywood. And I understand Lil Nas X is on a downward track career-wise. I'm not going to even be obtuse about it. He is. Let's just call a spade a spade. And I feel like that's what really caused the mental breakdown, allegedly. But Khaled, he may not be as high and popular as where he was, but he's still, that's a big difference there, buddy. You're punching up. But with that, I'll leave the conversation to y'all. How do you feel about the preference coming out and degrading the black men that he's dated only because they did not help further his career, when at the end of the day, despite how sexy you are, you have to have talent. You have to be able to sing to make good music. You have to be able to rap to make good music. You don't. Personally, I've heard a couple of your songs just because they've been previewed on the timeline, because you usually sell it with your sex appeal. They're not good. I'm going to be one of the real people to tell you it's not good music. I mean, I was even real about when Lil Nas X was releasing back-to-back singles. Some of the songs were not good music. It's okay to just say that and that your strength isn't there, but before I sound repetitive, how do y'all feel about that? How do you feel about him only making personal comments on his page whenever it's to drag somebody or degrade somebody for the sole fact that they're doing better than him? And I will give him credit on one thing though. In one of the screenshots, I did see how people were disrespecting him, calling him Mexican. And once again, I had to preface this by saying being Mexican is not bad. This isn't one of those things. It's more so saying, as a African American and Dominican person, even on my channel, when people have an issue with me, they come to me and say, oh, we don't talk about Selena. Why are you talking about our business? Basically saying I'm a Mexican. Dominican, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Salvadorian. You know, there's different groups of people in, you know, the Latino community. So specifically calling someone a Mexican, because Raymonte did this too when he was talking about Cardi B, and I think I said something about this. Calling people Mexicans for the sole fact that you have an issue with them is xenophobia. It is. That's like if I had an issue with one specific person, I went, oh, black people. That's why I always tell people, black people, we may not have the systemic power to be racist, but we definitely have the ability to be prejudiced. But with that being said, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's third eye tier subscribers, Adam34 and Daddy Darnell. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and once again, we're almost at 46K girlies. Thank you once again for the support. And this week's live stream discussion is going to be over, is it better to be desired or ignored? I understand we had a YouTube video about this, but I feel like we can go a bit deeper with a more in-depth conversation. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in. Hola, buenos dias. Soy Nico. And today we're here to finish off another wonderful week's worth of content. Well, yes. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com. Let me turn this off. I hear the siren in the distance. I know it's going to come closer. I'll just turn it off.